We usually understand a concept better when someone gives us an example. LLMs work in a very similar way. Providing examples is a technique called few-shot learning. Let me show you how this can be helpful when using GPT-4. We have a task to classify some reviews for a product we're selling. We have two different ways to use examples with LLMs. The first is to provide a list of classifications we want to match against. I have some reviews here in those exercise files that I copied over. Now, if I ask GPT-4 to classify them, by default, I may get something like a positive, negative, or neutral classification. Let's double check. Let's hit enter. And there we go, just as we predicted. But let's say I have a specific system for classifying reviews for customer impact. Let's say I have categories like these. Now, I want GPT-4 to classify my reviews into these categories. So let's say, classify the reviews into these categories. And hit enter. Now, this is pretty good. We got the categories we were expecting, and GPT-4 gave us some side notes as well. Now, the second technique we can use is to label the data itself, not to provide any categories, but just providing examples. This is called few-shot learning. For every type of review classification, we're going to provide one example that matches per category, or 6 in total. So let's go ahead and paste in our prompt. Some people might call this one-shot learning, because we have one example per classification. We use the triple pound symbols to note the end of each classification. At the end, you might notice there's no triple pounds, because this is the data that we actually want to classify. Let's go ahead and hit enter. And there we go. We got a pretty good result. If you're still having issues with correct classifications, we would add more examples to improve GPT-4's performance. In practice, we'd combine both techniques we learned, the classification one and the few-shot learning one, to improve the quality of our results. And there we go. That's how we use GPT-4 for few-shot learning to improve our task performance.